I love coffee so much. Hello and welcome to today's video. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. Today I am doing how I did my makeup in high school. I mean, I've seen this video float around before, definitely not my original idea. The first time I ever saw it was on Taylor Wynn's channel. And back when I did my organizing my makeup video, I found some things that I used in high school. So that inspired me to do my own how I did my makeup in high school video. So I hope you guys enjoy this. If so, give it a thumbs up. So since we're going back to high school Amy, I figured I would dress the part as well. I found some pictures that I feel like depict pretty well how I dressed and did my makeup and all of that in high school. So I will put them up somewhere over here. But in terms of outfits, high school Amy used to love to layer ribbed tank tops. Actually, my sister and I both did this all the time, but like brightly colored rib tanks. And I don't actually own any rib tanks. I actually had to borrow some of my husband's for this. And then like t-shirts with funky tank tops on top, or sundresses, like spaghetti strapped sundresses with t-shirts underneath. Apparently I was all about the layering thing. It was either that or just like a t-shirt and jeans and chucks. That was how I dressed. So I thought I would do an ode to that and just dress the part today, as well as jewelry that I had in high school and wore all the time. Obviously not my wedding rings. This guy I wore pretty much all the time, and this one was a hand-me-down from my older sisters, and wore this all the time too, so thought I would throw those in there. And then this was a gift from a friend in high school, so thought I would throw that on too. Let's just jump on in. Honestly, you guys, I didn't really wear much makeup in high school. When I started wearing makeup, it was all about the eyes, so I would do eyeliner and like a light mascara, and sometimes I would wear eyeshadow. Sometimes I would use concealer on like acne spots, but that was really the majority of my makeup for most of high school. It wasn't really till like my senior year, like 17, 18 years old, that I actually started wearing more makeup. So I had to do some thinking and really rack my brain on which foundation I used, and realized it was the CoverGirl Outlast 3-in-1 foundation, which I used for a really long time, and I don't currently own it, so I didn't go out and buy it or anything just for this video. But I do remember if I wasn't using that, I would use something kind of along the lines of like something like one of these. I'm going to use this today because it's pretty similar to the 3-in-1 foundation. I would have just applied it with my fingers. Sometimes I would have used a brush like this, like the foundation brushes, but I would have just applied it with my fingers. I have no idea if this shade still matches me, but this is in the shade 800. So my face has always been super red on its own. I always had acne, but I think I always felt like nothing really covered my acne up. So this was mostly to cover up my super red face. I love coffee so much. Also, fun fact, I realized when I was preparing for this video that this time of year 10 years ago, I was starting my senior year of high school. So that's really weird. But anyway, so that's what my foundation routine was. Literally just slapped it on with my fingers. And I still pretty much had a bunch of like my acne and freckles and things coming through. I think I literally just wanted to even out my skin tone so it wasn't like red tomato face and then like super fair skin. Before I started wearing foundation, I would just wear concealer sometimes, not even all the time. But then obviously sometimes I would wear it with my foundation too, just to cover up spots that were like extra noticeable. Since I have a few of those today, I'm gonna cover that up as well. But I would have used something like CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous. So I'm gonna go in with this. This is in the shade Fair. I just always used my fingers. So that's how I would have used concealer, and don't really feel like it did too much, but oh well. And I was in high school, so I didn't conceal under the eyes. I don't even think I realized that people did that, But again, you're in high school, so I mean, do you really need to? I don't know. So sometimes I did use powder, except a lot of the pictures that I found, my face looked super shiny, which my face has always been very oily. I think I just didn't know to powder, like touch up powdering my face throughout the day. But I would have used something like this. Also, wait, hold on, I forgot. My first ever brush set, with the exception of these two because I added these, but my original brush set, which my oldest sister gave me, she used to sell Mary Kay back in the day, and would give me sample makeup, especially once she stopped selling Mary Kay. Whatever she still had, sometimes she would give me, so that was always nice. And this brush set was one of those things. These brushes are clean. I cleaned them a while back, but I am going to use them because I used them in high school. So I'm going to use the powder brush. They're pretty old, so they shed a lot now and are kind of prickly, not very soft anymore. This is what I would have used though. Thankfully, I have 3 older sisters and a mom, and one of my sisters sold makeup at one point, so I didn't know tons, but I definitely learned some things from them. One of the things that I'm so thankful they taught me was to actually blend my foundation down my neck. So thankfully, I never had that awkward stage of like the demarcation line, you know? But yeah, so then I would have added powder and then blush. And I didn't know anything about bronzer, or contour wasn't really a thing, at least not for like everyday use kind of a thing. But for blush, I used these. So like I said, my sister gave me the Mary Kay samples once she stopped selling Mary Kay. Sometimes she had things left over and she would give them to me. And one of them was this sample blush palette. I didn't use all of those, but definitely some of the ones missing are ones that I completely used up. Like this was my blush in high school. I'm gonna use one of these two. I don't know yet which one. Probably this one. So I'm gonna go in with my first blush brush. From what I saw in pictures, my blush didn't look too crazy. I do remember my oldest sister always telling me, and she still tells me this sometimes, she will still say, blend, blend, blend. So I learned that from my sister Stephanie, so thank you, Steffi, for always teaching me to blend. And then I usually would have gone over it with my fluffy brush, just to make sure it wasn't too harsh or too crazy. I forgot to do this before I added powder, but pretty sure I would have done this after I powdered anyway, just because, I don't know, I didn't really know much about makeup. But I did not know what highlight was back in the high school days. I'm sure it was around, I'm sure people used it. I didn't know what it was, but I had this little gem. If any of you know what this is, or any of you owned this, please let me know, because I used this so much in my high school days. It has no label on it, nothing. It just has the shade on the bottom, which is Persimmon. And it is this like highlighting kind of stick from e.l.f. Back when like most things from e.l.f. were $1 and the expensive things were $3. This was one of those $1 items. You know, e.l.f. is eyes, lips, face. And I remember this like on the packaging saying that you could use it on your eyes, your lips, or your face, or all of the above. I don't think I ever actually used it on my lips because it's like a frosty pink. So I don't remember ever using it on my lips, but I did use this on my face. And like I said, I didn't really know what highlighter was, but they said you could use it on your face. Maybe they had like a little diagram or something, but I did used to put this on my cheeks, my cheekbones. Oh yes, look at that glow. Sometimes I would put it on my eyelids as part of my eyeshadow, or like as the only eyeshadow. Yeah, that would have just gone right there. Speaking of the eyes, when I was in high school, for some reason, the like eyeshadow palettes for your eye color was like a really big thing. So I had one of those, and I had this little beauty. This is the Almay Intense Eye Color. I color eyeshadow palette, and I had it in the shade 401 Smoky Eye for browns. Not brown eyes, just browns. For some reason, I got the one for brown eyes. I think I thought it would make my eyes pop more than the one that they had for blue eyes. I don't know. So I ended up getting this one. First of all, they're all shimmers. And this is like a coppery brown kind of shade. Then you have like an iridescent purple. Then you have like an iridescent purple and then like a champagne kind of color. So you're supposed to do lid, crease, and then highlight. And they told you on the back, diagram and all, how to do it. Didn't want to do my eyeshadow incorrectly, you know what I'm saying? So I followed the diagram and that's how I did my eyeshadow. So that's how I'm going to do my eyeshadow today. So I'm going to go in with this coppery brown shade and just put that all over the lid. I don't remember really doing my eyeshadow like really intense or like opaque or anything. And then I would have taken my little crease brush and gone in with the iridescent purple shade. Just going right in there. Those windshield wiper motions, you know? The most that I wore makeup was honestly, I had a friend who was in a photography class. So she would have like our group of friends be the subjects of the photo shoots that she had to do for her class. So that's honestly when I wore makeup the most. When I wore makeup the most and when I wore the most makeup was when I was like in her little photo shoots. I think it's funny that I really enjoyed this eyeshadow palette with this purple because now I like really shy away from color. Like I'm a neutrals kind of gal. Now I'm gonna go in with the champagne color for my highlight. So that's my eyeshadow. So then I did wear eyeliner in high school. Even if I wasn't wearing anything else, I usually wore eyeliner and mascara. My tried and true favorite eyeliner in high school was Maybelline Eye Studio in the little pot. And I had mine in the shade brown. And it came with this little liner brush. So that's what I'm gonna use. I'm pretty sure I brought it all the way into this corner right here. So that's kind of what that would have looked like. And then I also would do bottom liner sometimes, but not usually with that one. Usually I went in with this Almay brown eyeshadow, and this is in the shade 130 Hot Fudge. I just want dessert now, but it's okay. So I would usually just go in with this little liner pencil. I would just kind of dip it in there and smudge it on the bottom. And there we have it. Sometimes I would just use this as my eyeshadow instead of the purple, but usually it was this. I was trying to rack my brain and I can't figure out the exact mascara I used to use, but I'm pretty sure it was a CoverGirl one. It may have been Maybelline. CoverGirl and Maybelline have kind of been my mainstays ever since I started wearing makeup, but I'm pretty sure it was a CoverGirl one. It may have been like, was it like the green or the orange one or something like that. I don't have any of those right now. So today instead I'm just going to be going in with one that I've been using a lot, and it's the Bambi Eye mascara from L'Oreal, and I have this in the shade black. I'm going to use this one because you can get pretty intense lashes with this, but you can also kind of do a pretty natural looking lash. So also I used to have a hair tie on my wrist at all times, and that has carried through into adulthood, but I just had to throw one on for this video for fun, you know? All right, so last but not least, lips. So honestly, most of the time I just wore chapstick, but there are a couple of things that I would have used. So one is this NYX lip liner in the shade 858 Nude Pink. This is the actual one I had in high school. I mean, it's almost gone. But if I wanted to look a little bit more put together, or it was a special occasion or whatever, I would use this Mary Kay lipstick that my sister gave me. And I'm gonna butcher the name, but it's Shell Coquillage. Guillage? I don't know how to say it. But it's this really pretty, just kind of nude, natural looking color. But the one that really makes me think about high school, because I had this in my purse at all times. But this is the CoverGirl Nature Luxe Gloss Bomb. I had it in the shade 220 Peony. This Nature Luxe line came out when Taylor Swift was the CoverGirl. I was a huge fan of Taylor Swift in high school. So that's the main reason I bought this. So it looks really intense and red, but I liked it because you could do, oh no, it's breaking. But I liked it because you could blend it out to be pretty sheer, and it would just give you a little bit of shine and a little bit of color on your lips, and that's usually how I wore it. So I would usually throw this on and just sheer it out, blend it out with my finger. So that's what I'm going to do today. Hopefully it doesn't break on me. Yeah, so this is how I did my makeup in high school. So welcome to high school, Amy. Throwbacks. In general, actually, I will say, looking back at like going through and finding pictures for this video, overall, I'm really not all that embarrassed by how I did my makeup in high school. Is that how I do my makeup anymore? No, but I'm actually not too embarrassed by it. So good job, teenage Amy. It was a lot of fun kind of going down memory lane, being a little nostalgic, going back to the products that I used in high school when I was discovering makeup and figuring out how to use makeup and all of that. And I'm actually interested to know if you went to high school with me or you knew me during my teenage high school years. Let me know down in the comments because that would be really fun to find out. Let me know what other kind of makeup challenges you think I should do. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Make sure to just subscribe if you want to join the everyday family over here, and be sure to ring the bell if you'd like to be notified every single time I upload. So I love you guys and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.